Fishing the Wild West TV with Wes David is brought to you by Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Adventure Destination International. Book your trip of a lifetime with Adventure Destination International in Thompson's Resort. Big Chief Meat Snacks. Big taste, big adventure. Along with Cam Clark Ford, the official vehicle of Fishing the Wild West TV.
Fishing the Wild West. She's getting a little western on the deck. Join us this week as we are north of the 60th parallel in the Northwest Territories on a self-guided fly-in fishing trip. We're going to be three-way rigging for monster lake trout with Nonacho Lake fishing adventures. They're all stacked in here. We've had it hit, you know, even when I've been dropping the line down to them and they'll hit it on the way down. It's been kind of challenging at times. But we got to get through the layers and layers of small fish to get down to the big ones. But this one here is a little better fish. Out here in 72 feet of water, I had 98 feet of line because the line deflection, and I'm just zigzagging in and out. And yeah, he's a little, I think just now he knows he's hooked. Put that on for your entertainment. So this is what we've been looking for. We've off camera, be honest, we've caught, I don't even know how many smaller ones. Like, and when I say small, I'm talking 6 pounds to 12, maybe 15 pounds. But we've been working through for these. Now the wind's pushing me this way. Like I said, there's 72 feet of water, and I had that 92 feet out. My arm is sore, but I'm using a Abu Garcia 5500 reel counting reel, and it doesn't matter what your favorite brand of reel is, as long as it's a line counter reel, because you can work this with your fish finder, and it even help you understand how fast, like how fast we're moving and how fast they want it. Because we're doing nothing more than, literally we're bottom bouncing, just like we would for walleye. I got 12 ounces of weight on there with about 18 inches of line down to the weights, and it's really key that those weights are hitting the bottom. If they're not bumping the bottom every, I'm saying 5 feet, and you don't check for the bottom, you're not going to catch the fish. Bottom is key. Bottom contact is key. And then behind there's that number 4 Len Thompson, fluttering away. Okay, I'm at 30 feet of water. This is where it drives me crazy. I'm waiting for him to burp up those bubbles. 72 feet of water. I want him to release that air bladder so that we can release him healthy and not harm him in any way. While I'm doing that, I'll get my net ready. Here he is here. If I can keep his head up. I get these weights in so I don't lose my rod. I'll get that lure out of him. I want to keep him safe because he's a big fish. But I will show him to you, I promise. I'm gonna leave the hook in the net for now. I'll show that to you later. But I don't have a scale. Whoa, big fella. Or weight, anything. The size of their head. He's just massive. I don't know how much he weighs. I don't even really care. I'm gonna get him into the water. Just beautiful fish, holy cow. And there's lots of them down there like that. It's because we burped him. He should take off, there he goes. Took off with no trouble. Again, there's a lot of pressure. It makes you nervous when you're leaving them at 30 feet to burp them, especially when I'm using barbless hooks, because it came off right in the net. So that's a number 4 Len Thompson. Lots of flash, blue silver, pinch the barbs, And like I say, just keep a tight line the whole time you're fighting that fish, or any size of fish. But you're not only fighting the fish. I got 12 ounces of weight to get down, because we're fishing anywhere, if bite's been coming anywhere from 72 feet, which we're in right now, out to 98 feet of water. So this is key. Bottom contact is key to bring in big fish like that.
This segment has been brought to you by Rock Guard, protect your investment, and Power Pole, total boat control. Closed captioning is brought to you by Buzz Bomb Tackle, iconic sonic fishing lures, made in North America for over 50 years.
See, that wind is, like I caught them on this side of the boat, so that really helped me out. Anytime you got to make a move around the motor, around the bow of the boat, it's another move that, you know, you run the risk of getting the fish getting off. The only thing good about fishing here at Nonacho Fishing Adventures is if he gets off, you make 4 or 5 boat lengths, you'll catch another one. That clicker's purely on for my entertainment. Gotta get my net ready. These are all, this is self-guided. The Nonacho Fishing Adventures, it's all self-guided. You know, Miles, if he's got time, he'll come out and show you, but he's got them all well marked. He puts it on your GPS. Obviously, you mark camp as home, your home base, and there's fish everywhere. Uh-oh. I was gonna go jig up some lake trout later, and I'm hooked in my spinel from Buzz Bomb. I seen him, he's big fish. That sunline, I trust it to these fish. Look at the size of the heads on those. Oh, holy moly. I'll put this here. This is tricky all by yourself. I'll give myself some slack so those weights aren't hitting me. I'll get this, find out where that hook is. It's right there, perfect. Look at the size of the head on him. These things eat a lot of whitefish. They'll eat each other. Look at, holy moly. I don't know how heavy he weighs. I don't know how long he is. I gotta get him back in the water. That's the Nonacho Lake Fishing Adventures. There's lots of these. Holy. And again, because we burped him at 30 feet, there he goes. You give one paddle of the tail and he's gone, out of sight. Now it's like playing the VLTs, a slot machine. I don't know if we should make another pass or go for supper. This could continue all night long.
Wild Cookhouse is brought to you by Wild West Seasonings, home of award-winning seasonings, marinades, brines, and batters.
We're up here at Nonacho Fishing Adventures. We just come off the water, catching big lake trout all day. And we're gonna do some country fried steak, whitetail steak from last year's hunt. So all I've done is I've tenderized it down to about 1/4 of an inch. I'm egg washing it. Then I'm putting it into Wild West seasonings, into the fish batter, the dry fish batter. Get it in the hot oil. That Wild West seasoning a crisp up. We got potatoes going. We're gonna make some white sausage gravy, some asparagus, and eat like kings, even though that we're at a fly-in, self-guided fishing trip here in Nonacho. All your cooking utensils are here. frying pans, beautiful, comfortable cabins, so you can feed yourself like a king when you come off the water. And in this case, country fried deer steak and all the fixings. So we just got about a minute, 2 minutes left here. Just a little bit of time to enjoy my Caesar pleaser from Wild West Seasonings. And then we're gonna serve it up. Country fried steak. You know, country fried steak and eggs or country fried steak with anything you want, using your whitetail from your successful deer hunt. Now there is a simple meal that you can do with your whitetail or whatever wild game you hunt. That's a simple meal, everyday meal that you bring on to your fly-in fishing trip of a lifetime here at Nonacho Lake Fishing Adventures.
This segment has been brought to you by Hooked Magazine, hooked on fishing in the great outdoors, and Lucky Bug Lures. Get hooked on Lucky Bug Lures. Welcome back to Fishing the Wild West TV.
Beautiful morning. First, had an incredible experience this morning. Just in behind camp, in behind where the cabins are and the beach and all the beauties of Nonacho, muskox are on the hills, and they migrate here for the entire summer, as far as I know. And so we went and checked on the livestock this morning. First time I've ever seen a muskox in the wild. Our boat's still moving forward, so I don't know exactly how big he is, but he feels pretty heavy. We're in 66 feet of water now, but I came out of 82. That's where my lure was probably running, 82 feet. That's a good fish. Right now he's pulled drag, but I got 134 feet of line out. So the only connection between me and that big lake trout is this sunline braid. Okay, we're at 35, so I'm gonna have to hold him here. And while I hold him, I'll get the net out, get it ready. He's been burping up bubbles for a while. I think he's pretty safe to come now. I don't want to horse him here either, because once he sees the boat, another battle usually begins. And it's not uncommon when you're here with your fishing buddies, like double headers of these. Then you got a rodeo going on. Or even just back to back. We'll get him landed, show him to you, we'll put him back. And we might make another pass and catch one this big or bigger again. This is a huge, huge fish. Oh, this might be my biggest lake trout ever. Please, buddy, come in. I'll release you, I promise. Oh, turn your head. Oh my God. I think that's my biggest lake trout ever. We'll keep him in the water there. I'll get the hook out of him. I gotta look at him. He's in the water, he's completely submerged. I'll get the hook out of him, make sure he's safe, and we'll show him to you. I wanna show him to you. I don't know what he's gonna weigh. I don't know his length, but this is by far my biggest lake trout ever. I hold him up. That fish is all of 40 pounds. That's a big fish. Holy cow. I'll show him to you. We're gonna get him back in the water, but that is a great representative of what's here. And just think, we caught a 2 or 3 pounder just before this one. Getting back in the water. Holy cow. By far my biggest lake trout. And we burped him, so he'll have no trouble. That's on 50-pound Sunline braid. I'll show it to you in a sec. And we'll actually, right as soon as this fish goes down, we'll go to the Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's Gear Talk, there he goes, and show you the exact line that I trust catching all my fish, whether they're trophies or not too. I trust it all to Sunline.
This Gear Talk is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
Fish in the Wild West trusts their catch to the whole family of Sunline. But on this week's episode with those big lake trout, we trusted it to the PE4 Sunline, braided Sunline, 50 pound. Now this was the main line right from my reel all the way down to my 3-way rig. Tough, durable, and extremely sensitive Sunline braided line. Next on my 3-way rig, I went with 20 pound monofilament. The reason I did that is monofilament has a little bit of buoyancy, but also I wanted the line to my weights and the line to my main lure to be the weakest point. If I ever hung my lure up in the rocks or my weight in the rocks, I wanted that point to break so I didn't lose everything. It was the real key in bringing up those big lake trout.
This segment has been brought to you by AQ Outdoors, striving to be Canada's leading paddle sports resource, and Jackson Adventures. We are Jackson Kayak. This segment is brought to you by Big Sky Flies and Jigs, tackle you can trust, and Tourism Saskatchewan. Start planning your visit today.
You may notice I'm using a different rod. We hooked into one smaller one. So we got out the AquaView cameras and we're going to do some underwater work. And my hands are sore from fighting big fish. And as I was doing, I thought I put the weights in the boat just so we could get the fish on camera. I missed that, fish took off, took my rod and reel under. It's all under there. Rod, reel, a lot of Sunline spooled to it. So if you ever come out here, Nonacho Lake Fishing Lodge, ask Miles, we're at the burn. If you hook into my rod and reel and bring it up, you can keep the rod and reel and we'll have you on the next episode of Fish in the Wild West TV. Man, he's in the net. Weights in. Rod in, check. Fish in the net. Oh. Just I don't know, probably 12 pounds, maybe 15. But a great, great lake trout in anyone's books. There he goes. That's awesome. Back down to 76 feet of water. And like I said, those fish like that and bigger are consistent here. I promise you, you will leave Nonacho Lake Fishing Adventures with sore arms and a lot of memories. And he's got that. This is a great fish. He's right on the surface. Looks like a shark. Yeah, I knew he wasn't quite ready. Holy man, they're beautiful. I don't, on my line here, I got the 50 pound Sunline braid and then 20 pound mono on my 3-way swivel to the lure and to my weights. And then that way, if I do hang up on the bottom, it's just my leader that breaks. I lose a lure or some weights, but I don't lose all my line. If you had too light a line here and it breaks, who knows how much line you'd lose. But that's, I got a lot of confidence in this Sunline. I don't worry about it at all. I got him in there. Holy cow. Weights in. That. Holy moly. Holy cow. Leave that. How about that for a product shot, Sophie? That is a beautiful lake trout. I'm gonna put him back in the net. I'm gonna get that lucky plug out of him, get him back in the water. I don't know how heavy he is, but he's too heavy to hold much longer. There he goes. I've got no more words. I don't know what to say. I can tell you, you're going to consistently catch fish like that. You're going to consistently catch a bunch of fish. You're going to have an amazing stay in camp. All you got to do is book a trip and come up and experience it. If you're looking for a true trip of a lifetime for monster lake trout, there is no other place on earth like this. Consistently big lake trout and an abundance of lake trout. Beautiful accommodations at camp, all the comforts of home. Shower, hot water shower, you cook in your camp, catch your lunch, go in and cook. Everything is there on a beautiful beach here in Northwest Territories. Book your next trip of a lifetime for lake trout with Nonacho Fishing Adventures. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Fish in the Wild West TV. I'm your host, Wes David, and if you like what you've seen, join us on social media or through our webpage.
No cell phone service and no lawn to mow. What matters most is that I'm all alone. Living a dream, fishing the stream, fishing the stream, living a dream.
Follow us on social media or at fishingthewildwesttv.com.